All right, we got one coat of paint on there. Yeah, it seems kind of premature to paint that before we fix this wall over here. But through the magic of editing, y'all may not ever see that wall. I am going to put some 1/8 inch plywood because that's what's on the ceiling. A little bit easier to work with. And then we're just going to paint it flat black. This is just an old shop, an old garage. So we're not trying to make it a mansion or anything. Just trying to make a nice little filming spot here. So yeah, not a big deal to go ahead and paint the wall. Still going to put a piece of trim across the top, maybe some LEDs behind it so it'll glow a little bit, add a little ambiance. And yeah, we made quite a mess, so while we're at it, we're going to go ahead and clean this table up. And a couple of guys had mentioned wanting to see some of this stuff in here, and I need to open this up and rearrange some stuff anyway, so we'll crack open the case and we'll go over some of this stuff. And yeah, today's video is all over the board, guys. Because of the weather, kind of held me up, and not in the mood to paint today, so no painting. All right, now that I can get behind the counter, I don't have to pull the top off, and you can still barely see my face. This is not going to be the permanent camera angle, folks. We're just cleaning today. We're going to rearrange some of this stuff, too. I think I'm going to put the mini truck in here because I don't want them signatures to get messed up. We got our Roar membership rule book. And it still has my old address from way back in the day. Expires on 10/31/91. I think them rules are not legit anymore. There's my mini RC10 box. These came out on a sheet. Well, it's just a sheet you could print off and fold it up and make your own little mini box a few years ago. I got the team car somewhere. Need to cut it up and fold it up. This is a autographed Richard Petty body, and it autographs a little faint. These were sold at the Richard Petty Museum in Level Cross, and I had a buddy working there at the time, and they had some of these left over from years ago. I'm not sure who painted them, but they've been painted a long time, and it's kind of crunchy when you flex it at all. Yeah, he picked that up for me, and while he was down there, I painted this. This is the RJ Speed Superbird, and I actually painted it for him. Painted a few of them. This one was custom. It wasn't. This was never a paint scheme from Petty's. It was the Petty's garage car, and Richard signed it too. Actually, another one of my former customers that I painted bodies for bought them from that guy, and then he knew who did it, and he offered it to me, and I got to buy it back. I bought two of them back, actually, and one of them got sold while we were funding building the mini truck. Seiko Racing Products. This is a crystal carrier. You young folks won't understand what this is, but this is all the different channels. If you were on somebody's frequency, normally at a big race, you'd have you'd have to have at least one or two alternates when you signed up, so they could place you in your heat races. TRC 12 scale foams on HPI wheels. These are brand new old stock, and I don't think these are the right ones. This got a yellow dot. No, there's a P on it. It's a purple dot on the cover. Kind of crusty, got a little mildew on them, but they've been in this box for probably a good 25, 30 years. The plastic is turned yellow, so that gives you any indication of how old that was. There's a flyer from one of our first big races that we held at King after we restored the track. I believe this was the first Kimbrough 400 that we hosted. Me and my wife designed the flyer and had them printed off. So it's pretty cool. Still have one of those. I actually have the original poster that was in the hobby shop. It's hanging in the paint room. Well, my building room. Legends car, Bowlink. This is a promotional pack for hobby shops. If you wanted to organize some racing, it had the rules. It had some little, I think there's little flyers in there for your like awards. Yes, there's no price. It says Legends promo pack. So it has your race schedule up here. You post on at your hobby shop or your racetrack, and then it had some of the little paper pamphlet with rules, and then it has some pretty basic awards in here for basically like little ribbons. This was given out to hobby shops. It wasn't something sold to the public. Buds. Buds Racing Products, brushless or brushed motor dyno. And it's still all in there. It's well used, but it's all there. If we wanted to get a voltmeter out and test some low-C NASCAR motors, we probably could. RevTech. This is a line charger. What this is, it's a boost box. You pack this thing full of batteries, and at the beginning of a race, we used to have to do this at a big race. You put this on your battery, hit the button, and you nail it, and it would give you that last little bit of boost. This is before they check voltages. This would give you that little bit of boost because back then 4 minutes was a challenge. There's the actual instructions for it. And here's a flyer, which is cool. New product highlights. RevTech heavy horsepower 1990 price list. Lavco cellmate. Upgrade kit $20. Upgrade service $30. Oh, there's all kinds of stuff in here. Truth detector 20 amp boost box $79. Motor setup, wet magnet, no armature, $50. This is all motor parts and battery stuff. Battery shrink wrap. Armatures, $30. Anywhere from 13 to 16 turn. Capacitors, fuses, battery braid. Yeah, back when we had to build our own batteries. The kids got it easy these days. And somehow we loved it. Maybe that's why it kind of faded away too. It was very complicated. Dan's banana lube. There's still some in there. This stuff smells like bananas. I don't want to smell it today because this was like probably 1990-ish. And it's just a spray lube. They made it in little droppers too, so you could put it in your bearings. I'm not sure what it was made of, but it's slippery. Banana lube, all-purpose lubricant. Dan's RC stuff. My original competition charger, I started with, actually I had basically the suicide charger that came with the RC10. Navcom Professional. I didn't have a power source. I actually ran this off of a Sears 12-volt battery charger. And I know these angles are terrible, but we're just making a video. Slipstream body cleaner and wax from Paragon. Going for that extra aero, you wax your body. This is a battery bank, discharge bank. All 6 cells would sit in here. They have resistors inside, and that would, once you killed it, that would hold it and let that cool off, and it'd be good again for the next, probably not the same day, but maybe the next race day. There's another one in pink. Ralph Birch Jr. Raced body. It's a Protoform Pontiac, probably a 92. This may have been raced at King. Most likely it was because that's where I got it. I got it from a guy that worked with him at Progressive Technologies. And it's a pretty cool piece of history there. I had a Ralph Birch car, but again, while I was building my truck, I sold it. And I really wish I didn't. The charger to have back in the day, I never had one of these when they were relevant. This was gave to me after the fact just for my collection. competition Turbo 30. These things were awesome. Competition electronics. They're still, one of them still pretty sought after. They got one that's LiPo converted. This one is not capable of conversion, so it is what it is. We may have to do I don't know if I did a rig rundown on this. I may have. We need to do a more in-depth on this one. This is a hand-built 12 scale Lynx 2. This was raced at King, and this was given to me by a sponsored driver that was given this car back then. I think this car ran in 91. And it's all, the chassis, everything's hand-built. It's based off of a TRC Pro 12. Still has a PCM receiver in it and a 4-cell pack. If I remember correctly, we actually still ran 6 cells in them, so the 4-cell pack might be from their local track, because there was a short track up the road that ran 12 scales, and I believe they ran 4-cell. 4-cell was more common back then in 12 scale. Hyperdrive Nerf wing, still new in the pack, and this is when they were J&D Machine in Chapel Hill, Tennessee, and they're back in Chapel Hill again now under new management. Here's some Stage 3 1700 SCEs. These batteries are not good for even a display model. This one's not terrible, but it does have some green corrosion on it. But these are original from the late 80s, early 90s. And PTI that bought Hyperdrive at one time. This is a PTI Super Gold SCRs. These things were awesome. Never could afford one of these when I was a kid either. These have the Bowlink blocks in them. They have the 2 screws. These batteries actually screwed to the car, so you didn't tape them in like most of us did. So that was locking them in, so the whole battery shrink wrapped and then shoe glued together. And you build these blocks in it when you build your pack, and you screw it to your chassis. The guy I got this from, David, he raced Bowlink cars a lot, so I'm assuming that's why he has his built in with the blocks. I got the old school Dean's plug, the pin style. Guys, I know his camera angle is terrible. I'm just trying to clean my cabinet out and bringing you along. Another Stage 3 SCE with an old associated plug. That's the old style that's on the RC10 motors back in the day. So that's way back. A TRC capped radio, one of the first ones, the BBS wheel. And another one. And I got some brand new ones in the pack over here still. Composite craft, battery jig with some 3300 cells. I was out of racing by the time these batteries came along. This is a matched pack, ballistic batteries. The numbers look pretty good from what I can remember. It's a 389 at 1.8 volts. So there you go. These are a little bit corroded too. There's still got some acid coming out of this one. I just got it on my finger. Unfortunately, you might be able to clean them up if you wanted to put it in a display model, but I don't know why I have them, but I still have them. Paragon Comm Drops. It's a little bottle with a little needle straw, and you'd mount this on the rear pod of your car, or if you had an off-road buggy, you'd mount it on the motor plate, and you put Comm Drops in it, and it would give you a steady drip of Comm Drops. It would just eat your brushes up, but give you a little bit more boost of power. I don't know how well that thing ever really worked, or if it was even legal in some places. TRC Lynx 2. This is not a car. This is just an empty box, but this is the box that the kit came in. Just a generic box, and they wrapped them with this label. And how cool would it be to have that t-shirt today? They never made that as a shirt, but that would be an awesome t-shirt. So that might be an idea for future Guru's World gear right there. Motorizer, analyzer. This doesn't work. The volume, but the speed or timing adjustment. I tried plugging it in and running a motor on it, and it's this one of the switches didn't work. I don't know if it was the start switch or this adjustable timing switch here, but yeah, that was a pretty cool tool back in the day for brush motors. We're getting a little more modern here, probably late 90s. This is a Huddy comm lathe, cutting comms. Still fully functional, still got blades in it. Only thing we don't have is the, I'm assuming you put another pulley on your motor and hook it with a belt or a rubber band of sorts, or O-ring. It has like an O-ring on this drag motor here. Not drag racing motor, but it's a motor for drag or to spin your comm. So I'm not sure. Yeah, that's what it is. You just put your comm on here. It rolls on these bearings, and the belt or O-ring spins the comm, and you can true it up. This was a local guy to us, Gary Tilton. This is Tilton Technologies motor dyno, very similar to the Buds. And I've used one of these a lot back in the day. And you put your voltmeter in here, and you put a load on. You can check voltage ranges and RPMs. A lot of it was kind of just by ear. RC Thunderdome hat pins. This was from Dan's RC Products. I bought these from him on eBay. He had some old t-shirts that were left over he found in his attic. And I put one of those on a blanket. And I got a couple of these pins with it. He was the sponsor of a lot of the velodrome races. And I believe this was a promotional type thing, but yeah, it was, because this is a Dan's body mount disc, which is just plastic washers, but it's actually a pair of earrings made out of Dan's gold bars. These gold bars is what we assembled our batteries with, and somebody put a fake diamond in it and some hoops on it, so you could be stylish with your Dan's gold bar earrings. Orlando, Florida, Composite Craft. This is actual a Pancar wing. It's just a piece of carbon, like maybe 2 mils thick, and it's got a kick up in it, and that was made for Pancar racing and or oval racing back then. Probably mostly road racing. This just happens to be there. It's not that old. IRS shot cap. And Composite Craft. I only have a few of these left. I sold a whole bunch of it to ProFest on Facebook there. The colored parts anyways. This is my original sweatband. I've never opened it. I got this as part of the promotional pack when you signed up for the 1991 Roar Oval Nationals. It has the Roar Oval Nationals logo on it, and the sponsors on the back: TRC Modifieds, Trinity Stock. That's who sponsored the classes. It's TRC sponsored the modified class, Trinity sponsored stock, and hosted by PC Hobbies, which was the King Super Speedway. Paul Covington. Serious Stuff wing mounts. These are machined Delrin. Just a very simple little nub. We run the wing with the wing wire on your rear pod. Unlike today, most people run them on the body. Brand new TRC radials, still in the pack with the original BBS wheels. These tires here back in the day were a game changer. Super expensive back in the day. Even at 30 years ago, they were $18 to $20 a piece. And they weren't as good as the tires are today, at least the cap tires. We'd have to run a bead of super glue because the foam was exposed, and you didn't want the foam or the cap to peel off. One of our subscribers, David, he used to work at TRC, and he made those tires. He was telling me some of the stories about how they vulcanized the rubber and put it on the foam. And so he was there, live action. There's a set of rears. Red compound silver. Red was soft. I never would buy reds, even if they were fast, because they would wear out. And we didn't have money to buy more tires, so we ran 3 golds and a silver. The fast guys would run, on a major race, they would run them one heat race, and then they would be done with it. ProLite TRC TM radial. This is the full wraparound tire. The ProLite has a white foam in it, and the foam was not very durable. If you squeezed it, it would hold its shape, and your tire would be ruined, and your $22 would be gone, because these were actually a little bit more. I think these were like $24 to $25 a piece. Some Buds Bite traction compound. The dauber's in there, but there's no liquid left. Andes. This was the oval conversion kit, basically. They had the front and rear bumpers to put on your RC10, and they made them for Ultimas and a couple other cars, but mainly RC10s and Kyosho Ultimas. That way you can run a body mount and run your late model body or NASCAR style body on your buggy. When I first started racing concrete oval, we were running gearbox class, and we took our dirt oval cars and put NASCAR bodies on them. Tekin BC 110L. I got this through a buyout too. I never ran a Tekin never ran speed controls or chargers. I always ran Novak stuff. But the charger, instructions, spare fuses, everything's still in the box. I think. No, I was thinking maybe the decal sheet was still here. But, oh, there is a sticker. Nope, just a sticker sheet. There's a warranty. I don't know if they'd warranty it or not, but it was valid. But the Tekin charger, I found this on eBay a few years ago, and I couldn't resist. Brake-free CLP oil. The reason why I jumped on it, because this is what we used to put on our tires on dirt oval. It's kind of a creamy colored oil, and we'd put it on our foam tires at the clay ovals, and you smell that stuff. I bet if I cracked that open, it'd take me back to 1989. Roar membership card, business card for East Coast Racing Motors from David Timmerman. If you need to call him, get some brushes made or some comms turned. He's still around. He's on Facebook. 12 scale cap tires. They were also sold individually, only $16 a piece. I had a full set of these, but I actually sold some of those that were on the car. I restored a car and put them on it. These packages are getting more and more fragile the longer they sit here, and they're not in any kind of sunlight. They're shoved in the corner. But some TRC with the ZR1 wheels. If I remember correctly, this might be... No, it's still listed as Albemarle, North Carolina, so they're still local. Wasn't long after this is when they sold to Trinity, and the packaging changed, and then poof, they were pretty much gone. Now we're getting at about 95-ish. BSR comes around. BSR radios were faster than TRC tires back in the day. They took a little bit to break in. These were different. These you'd actually run them and they get faster. The TRCs were fast out of the box, and those got faster as you ran them, to a certain extent anyways. Second gen of TRC radials was just a standard cap again, not a wraparound on the stock car wheel. I always loved this wheel. It's my favorite pan car wheel. The rears was still pretty flexible, but they were the best looking wheel anyway. All right, now I believe this was somewhat to do with Bowlink. May have had something to do with this because this was Race Tech. This is one of their cap tires. Again, a little bit beyond my time because I was actually out of it when this stuff started coming out. And there's a little a blip right there for about, I don't know, probably 3 to 5 years that I lost track of what was going on in the oval scene. Girlfriends, driver's license, you know, teenager stuff. A box of Pro Match batteries. Again, these are used sales. They're all kind of corroded. I just kept the box around because it was cool. I actually threw some of them away. These are actually for sale packs. For sale 19 term was a thing, and I was definitely out of it by then. When I went to for sale, I was long out of racing. I kept track of it. I mean, I had friends that were still doing it, and I kept my magazines coming. And these are tires that kind of snuck under the radar. I didn't even know these existed, but Bowlink did offer a cap tire. These Bowlink tires were wraparound on the stock car wheel, like the TRC style stock car wheel, but black. TRC did come out with a later stock car wheel to try to stiffen it up. They come out with a composite material. And before they come out with the ZR1 wheel, the ZR1 wheel took a lot of the flex away, pretty much all of it. But before they come out with the ZR1, they did have the stock car wheel and black composite. And last thing in the case, oval racing. Paul Crawford got some tips and tricks, got some cool pictures in it from back in the day. Some old school bodies, and it's even got some RC10 stuff in here, showing you how to mount your body. I'm looking at it, you're not seeing it. Too many words for a kid to be, a young me to be reading. How to wire your car. That's got a Team Pit Stop TPS chain drive in that one. Yeah, just basic suspension stuff, freeing up your suspension. There you go, guys. You'll love that. How to Swiss cheese your RC10 chassis to lose weight. How's that? There's a book telling you how to do it. Once you know where to drill, make it look like this piece of Swiss cheese. Just make sure to keep the holes small with some reasonable spacing. When you get finished drilling, spend a few minutes or hours with a reamer and deburr every hole before it cuts you or a valuable piece of wiring in the A main. There you go. Swiss cheese your RC10. That's a tip. I'm going to rearrange this stuff and then we'll come back and wrap up this boring video. Alright guys, that's a wrap for today's video. Here's a test run of the new spot. Definitely need better lighting. I could tell that already. And obviously got to finish this wall. This wall here is going to be flat black. And we'll have some cars probably hanging on it. And or bodies because we got a lot of bodies to hang up. We had planned on running the Evo today. Didn't happen. Mother Nature had other plans. So we don't want to go out and run it in the mud for no reason. So we'll save that for 2025, I guess. And speaking of the new year, this time last year we had just went over right at 1,000 subscribers. I think today or just a few days ago we went over 15,000. Never imagined it would happen in a year. I've been on YouTube for 15 years, but never really pushed it until the last 2 years. I've been trying to be consistent every week, and that's why you're seeing this video today. I know it's a little bit of nothing, but this is real life. It's kind of live because I don't really have anything pre-recorded. So everything you see is basically live, and I'll just chop it up a little bit, and you can see it within a day or two of when it was completed. But I appreciate all the support through the year. It's been pretty awesome. We're gaining a lot of traction. I want to keep pushing it. 100,000 is probably out of question, but maybe 30. We can double it. That would be awesome. So hit that subscribe button if you hadn't already. And appreciate it, guys, that has supported the channel. We got some members on the channel membership. We've been steady around 8, 9, 10 members. Appreciate all y'all guys' help. Y'all do get the videos a little bit early. You get a members only video every once in a while. I'll try to do one maybe twice a month. Basically a lot of behind the scenes and or maybe some more personal stuff. But if you want to become a member, there'll be a link in the description for that as well. And there's also a link for our merchandise. We worked with Carpies through the years when we were racing. They made all of our shirts for our local tracks. And they made us some decals and some hoodies and some t-shirts. And look for future designs. This is the start. This is only the beginning. 2025, we're going to have some cool stuff coming. But yeah, appreciate all the support. We'll see you Wednesday with a paint video probably. And we'll see you then. Thanks.